The most dangerous creation of any society is the man who has nothing to lose. People are trapped in history, and history is trapped in them. Those who say it can't be done are usually interrupted by others doing it. I imagine one of the reasons people cling to their hate so stubbornly is because they sense once hate is gone, they will be forced to deal with pain. Love takes off masks that we fear we cannot live without, and no, we cannot live within. It is certain, in any case, that ignorance, allied with power, is the most ferocious enemy justice can have. I've always believed that you can think positive just as well as you can think negative. Nothing is more desirable than to be released from an affliction, but nothing is more frightening than to be divested of a crutch. The world is before you, and you need not take it or leave it as it was when you came in. I am what time, circumstance, history have made of me. Certainly, but I am also much more than that. So are we all. Anyone who has ever struggled with poverty knows how extremely expensive it is to be poor. Children have never been very good at listening to their elders, but they have never failed to imitate them. Love does not begin and end the way we seem to think it does. Love is a battle, love is a war, love is a growing up. Be careful what you set your heart upon, for it will surely be yours. The paradox of education is precisely this, that as one begins to become conscious, one begins to examine the society in which he is being educated. Nobody is more dangerous than he who imagines himself pure in heart, for his purity, by definition, is unassailable. To be a Negro in this country and to be relatively conscious is to be in a rage almost all the time. There is never time in the future in which we will work out our salvation. The challenge is in the moment. The time is always now. A child cannot be taught by anyone who despises him, and a child cannot afford to be fooled. Fires can't be made with dead embers, nor can enthusiasm be stirred by spiritless men. Enthusiasm in our daily work lightens effort and turns even labor into pleasant tasks. But the relationship of morality and power is a very subtle one, because ultimately power without morality is no longer power. People who treat other people as less than human must not be surprised when the bread they have cast on the waters comes floating back to them, poisoned. Education is indoctrination if you're white, subjugation if you're black. If the relationship of father to son could really be reduced to biology, the whole earth would blaze with the glory of fathers and sons. To be sensual, I think, is to respect and rejoice in the force of life itself, and to be present in all that one does, from the effort of loving to the making of bread. Everybody's journey is individual. If you fall in Love with a boy, you fall in love with a bow. The fact that many Americans consider it a disease says more about them than it does about homosexuality. An identity would seem to be arrived at by the way in which the person faces and uses his experience. People pay for what they do, and still more for what they have allowed themselves to become. And they pay for it very simply by the lives they lead. The power of the white world is threatened whenever a black man refuses to accept the white world's definitions. People can cry much easier than they can change. Hatred, which could destroy so much, never failed to destroy the man who hated, and this was an immutable law. Love him and let him love you. Do you think anything else under heaven really matters? No one can possibly know what is about to happen. It is happening each time, for the first time, for the only time. The only thing that white people have that black people need, or should want, is power, and no one holds power forever. It is very nearly impossible, to become an educated person in a country so distrustful of the independent mind. The future is like heaven. Everyone exalts it, but ni wants to go there now. The noblest spirit is most strongly attracted by the love of glory. I want to be an honest man and a good writer. When one begins to live by habit and by quotation, one has begun to stop living. The questions which one asks oneself begin, at least, to illuminate the world, and become one's key to the experience of others.